people need to come out of whatever they are, whatever their faith are, go in with the open heart, okay, being the host, and cater the all the and cater everybody down there. You see, there was a problem with the visas. People they couldn't get the visas as well before the matches. Okay,
Yeah.
this was one of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, and there was a lot of controversies about DRS. If you see, there's a lot of conversation around it that the DRS was manipulated, and there are few I witnessed there was some DRS was went wrong. Okay, so there was a lot of controversy. I'm not saying you cannot have the controversies subsidized. Okay, the controversies will remain there, but my main point is that when we have these sort of big sporting event, you let have people to come and celebrate together. Like in the Qatar, when you have a World Cup, FIFA World Cup there, people they went all over the world, but there was a controversy that they couldn't drink in the stadium, and it became a big issue. And they said, no, you're not supposed to bring the alcohol inside the stadium, and it become like a big global issues. But they said, okay, this is part of our culture. If you want to drink, you can drink outside wherever, but not in the stadium. But beside the fact, you have seen a lot of Europeans and from all over the world. They went there and they watched soccer matches. You understand? You get my point. Even if you have
Yeah.
like when we used to have a World Cup or any Asia Cup or Australasia Cup in Dubai a couple of years ago, people from everywhere they used to go. Even you see like Arabic people, they were sitting there and they. So so my point is like need to have a different variation of audience, okay, and then you let everybody have a equal participation as you expect when you go to other country and you get the sum of the privilege. Okay, then when it is come to your country, you give the privilege back to the other people as well. I mean, this is what the whole my point is.
So, but the point I understood, and I could have understood wrong, was that you want to not have World Cup cups in countries in South Asia. Now,
Yes, yes.
can
I
you
still I
elaborate? You've given the reason that the crowd is biased, but then they are that is true of all the places. I mean, crowd is biased, but again, it's not that like it's always 50-50, no matter where you go. It's never. So
Mhm.
there is an imbalance. So that point is not neither here nor there. The other thing was, okay, Qatar is a very good example, but Qatar is in the center of universe of this, that's not universe of the world. So anybody who wants to go to Qatar doesn't have to spend as much money as people would have to spend to come to Australia. Say from England, it will cost a reasonable amount of money, or even from India. From India, people can go to Qatar with a much less expenditure, and they uh, admittedly, your point about culture is very valid, and even Qatar and everywhere, even Sydney in Australia, likes to have its culture, and they used to allow a lot of alcoholic beverage. Now they have stopped, as far as I know, beers and all that while the play is on. You can have it outside, uh, or maybe
No,
not so
they
much.
have inside.
Okay, but they are allowed only certain amount or something like that. There is restrictions because there have been
Hmm.
problems with that in the past, so we can't
Hmm.
avoid that. So there are always problems of some sort of the other. So so that's the second point about the culture. So it's not that you have a very balanced mm, uh, what you call a crowd. It's not. It you may have been sitting where there may have been very sort of balanced situation, but that was a one experience. It's not the experience all over the place. The point about not allowing, uh, uh, not not wanting to have, let's say, not allowing. Neither of us have that privilege of not allowing. The point about not having World Cups in, let's say, South Asian countries or even Africa uh, is has got a lot of problems. Now, you want to see a very balanced cricket scenario. Now, uh, the the point about balance is right there in front of you. You know, India was doing a lot, virtually nothing wrong till the last match, and you got the balance in the end. That the more with it, the team, the Australian, more professional, more switched on, more with a gusto, went on and won the match and they won the World Cup. So the balance got there, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and well, there are. Sometimes I agree with you on some points in the sense that there is a rumor that it because it was such a given a situation that India will win, there was a lot of bettings and all that, and that was deliberately the match was deliberately lost because then the betting organizations will earn a lot of money. So that's one rumor, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, the point about fairness is never there. So
Yeah.
where do you get fairness, mate? That's the question.
Okay, we come back to your question one by one.
Hmm.
The first of all, when you say Qatar is in the middle of the world, that's quite good and understandable. What about India and Pakistan? Are they separate from the rest of the world? No.
No, they're not. But why
Australia
did
is,
Australia spend money and send people there, the crowd? Now, your point is muted because in Australia, at least that's the experience I have, and also, I mean, what I see in UK and so on, you have the local crowd which is of subcontinent origin, and that's why you see that balance, if you call it a balance. So, does
yeah.
that mean that
No,
the
no.
South
I
Asian
am
countries do not get the experience of holding their own World Cup?
no. See. I'm just narrowing down your answers first. Okay,
Hmm.
then we come back to this one
Hmm.
because you have mentioned a couple of things. We go one
Hmm.
by one.
Please.
First of all, you said the Qatar, the Qatar is in the middle of the world somewhere. Okay, but people from all over the world, they have traveled to see the FIFA World Cup. You get it or not? They came from US, they came from Europe. Okay, they went from Australia as well. So they went from every part of the world. Okay, so this is a central part. The only thing which is thinking about like being biased in your country. They may be a bias in their countries as well because they have their own rules and regulation. They have some own cultural variations, and they have restricted something. That's okay. That's open. Once you're in their country, then you have to follow the laws, whatever the laws are.
Yeah.
Okay, but to the promotion of the culture, to the promotion of the World Cup, they let anybody and everybody, and like the Arab country, they are very strict about giving the visas to the people. They have a certain limitations about. But when it's come to the culture growth point of view, they let people to come, like Saudi Arabia. They have very strict policies about the foreigners. They never let people to come there, but now they have changed the policy for the certain countries. Okay, so you have an online visa which you get it, like, and you go there. You got it. Second thing is about you discuss.
So come on. The meeting will end in 10 minutes, so we'll have to have another one after this. Um, the point is, uh, just a second. Uh, so they are allowing people. So does that mean that if in the Middle East there are World Cups and so on, that comes in a better character? Your argument about having it in English-speaking countries is not so strong then.
They see. I mean, one of the thing which I have mentioned previously. This is one of focal point of my whole discussion.
Sure.
Okay, and that is the discussion point is where you bring people, you let people to come enjoy it from all part of the world. irrespective of their faith.
I agree with that.
You
Yes.
understand?
Yeah.
Okay. If any countries have some disagreement with any other country, like India and Pakistan,
Mm.
because of this cricket fun, I never want this World Cup to held be either in India or Pakistan at any cost. Because,
Fair enough.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
because they have a government disputes,
Yeah.
okay, and they won't let people to come from each other country,
Yeah.
and people they were even like Indian people they cannot travel to Pakistan, okay, if as a government point of view because of their
And the
conflict. I
other
mean
way
personal
around
level
too.
there,
The Pakistanis
other way
can't
around.
travel to India. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is some of the other things are
Yeah.
okay.
That's very true of the two countries. Yes, I agree.
Okay. So once you have these sort of mega tournament, like there was the ICC the Asia Cup down there,
Mm.
and India denied to fly there because of their government restrictions. But if it is
Where?
happening at Pakistan,
Hmm.
so they have to move the match to Sri Lanka.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, their
So
politics is not good.
yeah. So this is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So it actually takes the flavor and the main theme of a game. If you have a conflict, it's fine. You don't host it. What is causing you to host this tournament when you want? If it is like India is not a test playing country or Pakistan is not a test playing country, it's a different story. But if you have a cricket playing countries and you don't letting those countries to come into your countries because of their XYZ reasons, and then this is not in the faith in the favor of a game. You cannot enjoy that game. So biases starts from there. But this is what I'm saying. Again, when you are having these sort of World Cups or any mega events outside of these countries, I mean, I give you the example of Middle East as well. So Middle East, they are neutral venues. You got it? Australia, New Zealand, they are also neutral venues because they are catering their crowd who are sitting there, but they are not stopping people to come if they are having the right ticks on their visa conditions or whatever. They let
Well,
people to come.
that should be the case. Yes, with the other countries
Okay,
also. Yeah.
okay. So this is one of my narrative.
Hmm.
Okay, that if you are biased towards in your own thinking in your own approach or style or whatever, you should not have these things hosted. I'm not in favor of Pakistan either, to be honest,
Yeah,
because
yeah, fair enough. You were saying South
okay,
Asia basically, which is India and
yeah,
Pakistan mainly.
yeah, exactly. And
Bangladesh
then
probably can't hold it.
they don't have a capacity.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, Sri Lankan tried to do it, but because of their weather, a lot of match were washed out.
Hmm.
You got it? So they're not a conducive environment. So I think, like, uh, for the favor of any sport, it should be played at a neutral location where people they come, celebrate, they enjoy, and there is less biases. What I'm saying, if you have anything in any country, you will have a biases down there as well. This is not 100% perfect word, okay? But I'm saying the big biases or less biases. You understand that? I mean,
Hmm.
so those countries in Pakistan, they have a big biases. India, they have a big biases. Okay. And they have a problem with each other. I mean, they fight on Facebook. I said, guys, why are you fighting for? This is not life and that. Enjoy the game. If
Hmm.
somebody is the best cricketer from any country, the best cricketer, irrespective of your thought. Okay. But you cannot compare these things. So what I'm saying that to enjoy the game, to enjoy the theme and the root of the game, you need to have scheduled those games into some areas or some location which is unbiased in terms of the culture, in terms of a population sampling. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world. I mean, if you have tick boxes there that they let you in, that's fine. But if you have India and the Pakistan, they have a very specific crowd which can go travel into these countries. Okay. So I personally, but this is my personal opinion. See, again, I'm not giving the opinion of this whole world. This is my personal opinion
Fair
that
enough.
this should not happen because in these countries because of these specific reasons. Okay, but anyway, I mean, this is how the world goes and how the things are planned. It's not what I think. This is like one of my perspective as a being a sportsman, that how it should go.
Wonderful. That's wonderful, Simbai. Really, I mean, you have raised a point which also raises uh, the situation in terms of raising the bar between the countries. Now, there's one disagreement between you and me is that we can't. You are saying that we should not have matches in South Asian countries, especially in India and Pakistan and so on, and only have it in English-speaking countries. But I disagree. What should happen is that because the BCCI and ICC, all these committees, they decide on a sort of a circuit basis as to which country will hold and so on. Some countries may have a bit of a bias on those boards or whatever, but the point is where these things should improve is that special permits or visas be provided to the verified fans of those games. So once that happens, then this business of very very biased crowds and all that will try and will start becoming sort of much less prominent, because you are giving a reasonable amount of access to all. Now, overall access is allowed to all, but then you always have issues in visas. So, I mean, even if somebody wants to come to Australia from say Pakistan or India, they would have to go through the visa process. So, for this particular situation, there should be a much more work done in terms of prior planning, and all the countries that are involved, they should start, let's say, prioritizing the visa issues and scrutiny the crowd that is not going to be good for their country. And that way, what will happen is that you'll have the experience around the world, rather than restrict yourself to the English speaking countries where a lot of people just can't get there. And they, yeah, well, we are happy because you and I are here as resident Australians, although we come from those countries. And so I think the International Cricket Control Board should take account of this and start scrutinizing the fans, because they have a much better, let's say, access to such situations, and they can advise the various governments that these kind of people and this list and all that will be allowed. That way, you'll have the spread of the culture around the world much more, and a lot more people will enjoy. It still doesn't mean that it will happen overnight, but I do thank you for putting your points of view, and I do not necessarily agree that these things should not happen in those countries. But anyway, it's every 4 years or something. So people, the International Cricket Control Board has the chance and what you call opportunity to improve themselves on that score. Well, your last words in just a minute.
No, I'm good. Thank you very much. I mean,